First of all, thank you very much for coming down to visit Class B.
Thank you.
We're very grateful. I'm Alex. This is Andrew.
And Alex?
I don't know who these people are. First, how do you feel that your theological studies have influenced your writing?
It certainly shapes what I'm looking for in the films. It shapes the kind of imagery I'm attuned to, and sometimes it allows me to pick up on things that that other people overlook, and I'm just excited about that and to be able to offer that perspective on it. It's not the only perspective. I don't, other people, if they give whatever kind of reading they give, if you can justify that imagery and that symbolism is in the work, then you've accomplished your work as a critic, and you've made that work deeper and more meaningful for other people, and that's what I think critics are supposed to do.
In Dying to Live, who was your favorite character and why?
Oh, wow. Switched right over to the other book. I tried, I suppose not consciously, but as the book evolved, it became pretty conscious to make sure that different characters all had some, I suppose, aspect of myself. I mean, I think all protagonists in your fiction, in anybody's fiction, really are extensions of yourself. So even though the main character is maybe the one that's most identifiable as me, certainly Milton and Jack and Tanya all have qualities that I either have or that I'd hope to have. I mean, they're all, cooler than I am, which is the other aspect of writing fiction that's fun, is that you get to write yourself, but only cooler. And I suppose Milton, he's kind of confused and enigmatic, and he's sort of behind the scenes more than actually doing stuff. So I think as I was writing, I was probably most identifying with him, even though he's not the narrator.
What were some struggles you faced while you were writing Dying to Live?
I think it's, I'm happy that people are pleased with it, and certainly is the best that I could make it with my skills and as a first novel. But I think in many ways it does come across still as a first novel. It is, I think the plotting is too simple. I mean, I think it's too straightforward. And I'd like to, as I write more, I'd like the plot to become more complicated and try to juggle more characters than I was this time. But mostly I was just. It really is it is sort of intoxicating to get into a story and get into a character's mind, and be sort of taken up with it that way. So I was always happy when I was writing it last summer.
Are there any plans for a sequel to Dying to Live?
I just started last night.
Started last night?
In terms of typing, yes. I mean, I've been outlining, I've been thinking about it. I think I have a good solid outline this time, which is another thing I didn't do that time. I didn't outline it, I kind of winged it. So this time, everything's plotted out, very much more organized this time. And last night was when I actually started writing things that will actually be in the body of the book. So yes, and Permuted has had a really great turnaround time, and I don't think they'll have to wait too long. Thank you for the great review. Incredible.
I loved it.
Can you give us any information on the sequel?
Oh boy. Same characters. It's not going to be written from the same perspective. It's going to be quite a bit later. So the characters who were kids in the first one have grown up.
So, oh, cool. So it won't be a first-person perspective from Jonah?
It will not be this time. No.
Cool.
So, do you have any advice for amateur writers who might read this?
Who are interested in writing?
Yeah.
Boy, there is a lot. I had a whole separate list of that. Would you like a whole separate list?
Go for it.
Should go get the list then. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to do writing questions. Can I get my list?
Yeah, sure.
Surely.
We can actually post it on the website if you want.
No, it's handwritten on the back of the piece of paper. I can give it. Yeah, another project I just finished for Permuted was a collection of stories from other people. So we've been taking in literally hundreds of zombie stories from people all over the world, and I've had the pleasure of reading those. So I have been reading a lot of beginning writers writing about zombies. So I've been kind of picking up on what are the challenges from other people, not just my own challenges as a writer, but what other people do well and what they struggle with. Listen to your English teacher. Not about everything.
Our English teacher freaks out at the sight of hawks.
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 It's not a particularly scary animal.
No, like
but-
in excitement. Like, yes!
Like,
Yes!
yippee, there's a
Hey,
hawk.
you weren't there.
Okay.
I was. So was there. As in,
I would
oh my
have-
God, Midland Park has completely destroyed all other
All
wildlife.
flora
Yeah.
and fauna. Well, no, actually, I don't know about big hawks, but some small falcons that do very well in urban settings.
In the space of 30 seconds, we've gone from history to hawks. I was about to say, we're talking about hawks.
They do. They nest in buildings and they get really good at killing pigeons.
Someone catching chipmunks.
So, yeah, and squirrels and all the other.
Thank you for going to the Junior Audubons.
When we're not talking about scary living dead.
Well,
So
it
there
could
is
be
that-
undead birds.
I was going to say there is that Keen story, hunting season,
Running
where the father's killed by a zombie squirrel.
Oh.
Which I just thought was hilarious, but I mean it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be kind of sad. It's written from the kid's
I think I was
perspective that
talking about
dad just got
thing.
killed by a zombie squirrel. Okay, where were we? Listening to English teachers. Yeah. A lot of people ask, what if I write this really good story, but it's got some grammatical mistakes? And as an editor who has to read hundreds of stories, you're looking for any reason to throw one out, right? Because you've got hundreds more to go. So you don't want to give an editor a reason to throw your stuff out. So grammar is really much more important, I think, than people give it credit for. And it just makes you sound more intelligent and more in command of what you're. Once you get the craft down of writing and writing well and grammatically correct, a lot of people say the first kind of writer's advice that you get is plot is everything, and I think that's true in a way. I'm not exactly sure if I support it as the paramount thing to think of, because I think when anybody sits down to write a story, they probably do have plot in mind. I would think that's the first thing you think of is what do I want to have happen in this story to get from the beginning to the end? What's going to change in between? So you probably have a plot in mind. I think what bogs down a lot of writers is trying to make the plot appropriate to, especially to the size of the work that you're working on. I got a lot of submissions of short stories that basically had, probably pretty much a novel's plot, trying to cram it into 10 pages, and there just was so much stuff going on.